Howdy, Bush School. Welcome to Bush School in the Texas Legislature Overtime Edition. I'm Rebecca Chanel, Graduate Assistant for the Communications and External Relations Office, and I'm here with Jordan Parr today. Jordan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Rebecca?
Good. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Jordan Parr. I'm from El Paso, Texas. I did my undergrad at New Mexico State. I did government psychology. After that, I went on to work for Tom Udall, U.S. Senator, State Senator Jeff Steinborn, on a campaign for Xochitl Torres Small. And then after that, I decided I want to go ahead and get my graduate degree. So I went to the Bush School, and now I'm here.
Can you tell us a little bit about the difference between the New Mexican legislature and the Texas legislature?
The biggest differences that I've seen are budgetary issues and finance. So we have a committee at the state legislature that constantly works every biennium to set the budget. In New Mexico, there's a committee, but it's year-round, and it's not really made up of the members. They have their own separate staff working on it consistently. So that, and another big difference is the amount of staff in the Texas legislature compared to that of New Mexico. New Mexico state senators and reps maybe have one staff member to answer constituent calls and help with, ledge council, drafting bills, stuff like that. So I'd say that those are probably the biggest differences.
Can you tell us a little bit about the big issues that are coming in front of the Senate this past session that you've been a part of?
A lot of what I've been working on is healthcare related. I work in the Health and Human Services Committee for Senator Kolkhorst. So a lot of the issues that we have coming in have to do with Medicaid, either like promotora expansion or the complete expansion of Medicaid, maternal mortality rates, legislation related to solving those types of issues. Given, the effect of COVID-19 this legislative session, a lot of bills have kind of revolved around that. There's some scope expansion in telemedicine, the ability to expand our medical services to rural areas is another issue. There's a major DFPS lawsuit going on right now between the state of Texas and the class action suit. And so there's a lot of efforts to try to kind of hit some program evaluation on DFPS. So I'd say that those are some of the big ones. There's tons.
So Jordan, you said you work for Senator Kolkhorst. How is working with her on a committee different from just working with her in her office, and how is it similar?
There are a lot of similarities and differences between working in a committee and working for a capital office. Some of the similarities include, what we call shepherding bills, and that includes, researching the issue related to the bill, preparing the bill books, briefing the member on the bill and the issue, securing support amongst members and other chambers, and the administrative tasks that go with that. This extends to any kind of bills that we're sponsoring. We also meet with stakeholders, regardless of working in the committee, to kind of, parse out pieces or amendments that we do or do not want, or members may or may not want. We also do constituent services, so we'll talk to constituents and help resolve their issues or direct them to somebody who can. And we also track legislation. I would say those are probably the top similarities that you can say exist between the Capitol office and the committee office. Some of the major differences are, because we are a committee, all of the bills that are introduced obviously have to go through each committee. And when they come in, the committees have analysts, and so they have to analyze these bills to help make the senator aware of what's coming into the committee, who's fielding them, and whether or not we want to set them for a hearing. Obviously, being in the Health and Human Services Committee, these bills are very health focused. So while my colleagues might be working on a breadth of issues, I'm very narrowly focused on health policy here. We have to deliberate these bills, like I mentioned, not just internally, but externally as well. So as soon as we do decide on which bills we want to set, we do get in touch with other offices, sit down and have discussions with them and the agencies regarding issues we may anticipate or other offices may have. And we try to find some middle ground to work on those differences. So I would say that those are the major differences between the Capitol and the committee office.
Now, if you could just take a second to reflect on the pace of the session, that is how the pace changed from the beginning to kind of where it is now, getting towards the end of it. How has it changed or stayed the same?
At the start of the session, everybody's doing research and kind of getting their bills ready, and it's slower paced. As soon as those bills get sent into, the floor or the respective chamber, they then get referred to committees. That's when our job really started to get hit. And, kind of alluding back to the differences between the Capitol and the committee, my pace picked up very quickly as soon as those bills started to kind of start rolling in, because it was mine and my colleagues' job to analyze some 341 bills that had come into the office to help, prepare the senator and give her recommendations on the merits and demerits of it. And so that kind of hit really hard as like the first wave of referrals came in, and then we got all of that done. Second wave came in. We refocused our attention towards hearings and setting and research and working with constituents and other offices, and the referrals kind of slowed down. And then the House bills, as soon as they're done with their committee and get referred over to the Senate after they've moved past the floor, then we have that third wave. So we had this kind of roller coaster ride of intensity over work take place. Yeah, so we're currently in a position right now where we've just got hit with another wave of House bills. So we're trying to work through them.
You're probably pretty busy right now.
We are, yes.
All right, well, we won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much for joining us today on our overtime edition of Bush School and the Texas Legislature. Jordan Parr, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your session, and happy graduation.
Thank you. Happy graduation.